So hello guys, once again I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. So previously we have seen how we have deployed React.js application on Azure pipelines and deployed it to an Azure app service. Now in today's video we will see how we can compile a Spring Boot application and deploy it to Azure pipelines. So we will see first today's agenda. First we will see strategy of deploying an Java Spring Boot application. Second, we will see local compilation and deployment of Spring Boot application. At last, we will see Azure Pipelines compilation and deployment of Spring Boot app. Strategy of deploying a Java Spring Boot application. A Java Spring Boot application is a web application built using the Spring Boot framework, which is a part of largest Spring framework for Java. Spring Boot simplifies the process of creating standalone, production-grade, Spring-based applications. It offers a wide range of features that help in rapid application development. So this was the definition of Java Spring Boot app. Now we will see how we are going to deploy our Java Spring Boot app to Azure pipelines. So you can see in below image. First, Azure repos contains our Spring Boot application. Then second, we will fetch the code and check out it to build pipeline, and we will create a YAML file. We will build our code and we will generate artifacts. The artifacts will contain jar or var file. We will then create a release pipeline and take our artifacts, jar or var file to release pipeline and deploy it to app service. So if you are not familiar with what is app service or release pipeline, then please check out my previous video. I have explained everything in details. So first we will see local compilation and deployment of Spring Boot app. Guys, now we will see how we are going to build Java Spring Boot application in our local system. So I have already downloaded the sample code of Java Spring Boot app. I will provide GitHub link of this code in the description below. So let's move ahead. So the prerequisite to build a Java Spring Boot app is that first you need JDK or Java, and second one you need Maven to be installed in your local system. So we will fulfill this prerequisite. First we will install Java. So now first we have to install Java, JDK, download. You have to go to the first link, accept all, and now you can install JDK from this website. Click on Windows section and download the installer. So our download has been completed. Now we have to open this file and we have to install JDK into our local machine. Click on next. Just leave all the settings at default. So you can see our Java has been installed successfully. Now we have to install Maven in our local system. Let's do it. Go to your browser. Navigate to Google. Search for Maven or Windows. And you can click on the download section. So you can click on this binary zip archive. So you can see our Apache Maven has been downloaded. So this is our Apache Maven. We have to extract this. After extracting this, we have to copy the folder Apache Maven. Go to program files, C program files, just paste it here. After that you have to configure the environment variables. Go here, search environment variables, click on this, click on environment variables section. So here we have to add two environment variables. First is of Maven home and second is its bin path. Go to the folder, go to the bin directory, copy the bin path, go here in system variables, go to the path section, create a new path, add the path here, click on OK, and now our bin path has been added. Now we have to add maven home, click on new, type maven home, go back to Apache Maven. We have to copy this path of Apache Maven and paste it here. Click on OK, OK, and OK. Now we have to verify that our Maven and Java has been installed or not. Open command prompt. Click here. Now type Java hyphen version, and you can see Java 21 has been installed. Now mvn hyphen version. So you can see Apache Maven has also been installed in our local system. Now we are ready to build our Java Spring Boot application locally. So as you can see, I have my Java Spring Boot application here on my desktop. Now I will navigate to desktop, to dir, cd and desktop. Click enter. Now you can see I am in my desktop in my terminal. To list all the files, click on dir. So you can see I have Java Spring Boot directory. Once more I will give cd Java Spring Boot app, click on this. I will check all the files by going dir. Now you can see all my files have been listed here. You can go here and see that the same files has been listed here in my terminal also. So now we will try to run this app locally. So for running this app locally, we have to give command mvn install. Make sure you are in the correct path where your app is available. Just click enter, and you can see Maven is building our file locally. It is downloading all the dependencies to build this file. It will take a while and it will generate a target folder here. You will analyze that a target folder has been generated in this application folder, and that target folder contains our jar file or var file which will be deployable. So you can see our target folder has been generated right now, and it contains our artifacts that will be deployed. So you can see our build has been success and our artifacts has been generated. We will navigate to target folder and see. So we can see we have got our snapshot.jar file. So this is the main artifact or the executable jar file which will be hosted to our web page. Now we will navigate to this target folder in our terminal. Let me clear my screen. Now once again I will do dir. I will go to target and I can see all the files in my terminal also. So we can see our Spring Boot application is here in terminal also. Now we will run the command to run this jar file. The command to run this jar file is java-jar and Spring Boot snapshot.jar file. Click on enter. Now you can see our Spring Boot is running. Click on allow access. So you can see it is saying that application has been started on port 8080. Now we will go to our browser and see and type localhost 8080.
So guys, we have to give the URL localhost column 8080 slash hello and we will get our web page. So you can see it is printing out hello world. So our application is up and running. So now this is the end of our local compilation of code of Java Spring Boot application. Thank you.
So now we will see Azure Pipelines compilation and deployment of Spring Boot application. So guys, I am in my DevOps organization. We will go to Azure repos. So I have already pushed my code to Git repos. I will provide the GitHub link of this code. So we can see we have these files: source, get ignored, pom.xml and readme file. So pom.xml is a main file which has all my configuration to create our Java word file. Now we will move ahead and see how we can create a pipeline and compile this code. We can click on setup build. Now you can see our Azure DevOps has analyzed our code and given us these options. It is saying that our project is based on Maven, so we can click on Maven and choose a Maven template. I will select the first one. You can see it has given me these options. So in steps you can see. So this Maven at the rate 3 task installs Java or JDK in our build machine, that is a Ubuntu machine, and do the Maven install command behind the scene. You can see it is taking our pom.xml file and selecting all our configuration to create our jar file. It is installing a JDK of 1.8 and we have already skipped the test result and the goal is to package. That means it is doing Maven install behind the scene. We can give a script to see what is happening and what files are being generated behind the scenes. ls. I will give a display name, view files after build. Now we can save and run this and see what happens. So we can see Maven is compiling our code. It is downloading the dependencies from central repo and compiling our code. This thing we have seen in our local compilation also. So it will take a while. So we can see our pipeline has been ran successfully. We can view the files, our compilation. We can see target folder has been generated and we already know that in target folder we have our build file or artifact as jar or word files. In our case, it is a jar file. Now we have seen that our Spring Boot app has been successfully ran and created the artifacts. Now we will publish the artifacts. We will go again to our pipeline. First, let me rename this. I will give pipeline at the end of this. I will click on edit. Now we have seen that our target folder has been generated. Now we will publish our artifact to pipeline using published artifact task. So I will just remove this step and create a copy file task. Our source folder will be build dot slash target and contents with star star dot jar. and target folder. Now I will add this to our pipeline. Now it will take our jar file from this target folder and copy it to artifact setting directory. Now we will publish this artifact to our pipeline. We will use publish artifact task. We will click on add. And now our code is completed. Now we will save it and we can see our pipeline is running. So now we can see our job has been finished and artifacts has been published. We can go to pipeline and check it out. So you can see our jar file has been published. Now we have to release the jar file to an app service. So before releasing it to a app service, we will create an app service. Now we will go to portal.azure.com. We will search for app service. We will create a new app service. I will provide a resource group, a name, Java Spring Boot 1 2. Publish will be code. Runtime stack will be Java 17. Java Web Server, Java SE. Good for me. Now we have to keep these settings or configuration while creating a web app for Java Spring Boot application. If you will change this configuration, then your application might not work. I will just review and create. Click on create. Now we can see our deployment has been completed. I will go back to my Azure pipelines and create a release pipeline. I will click on releases. I will click on new pipeline. I will provide the basic configuration. Spring Boot release pipeline, the name of the pipeline. I will add the artifact. I will select Java Spring Boot pipeline. Click on add. I will add a stage. I will select a predefined template from here. Deploy your Java app to Azure App Service. Click on apply. Deploy to app service. Now I will see the task. I have to select my Azure subscription. Our app type is web app on Linux. I will provide my app service name, Java Spring Boot 1.2. Now we have to keep in mind that our artifact is of a jar file instead of war file. So I will disable this war file task and I will enable the jar file task. So we can see our basic configuration of releasing our jar file to app service has been done. I will just save it, click on release, and we can see our release one has been created. So our task is in progress. So now we can see our job has been done. We can go to our app service, click on browse. So you will get this white label error page. Don't be scared. Just click here and type /hello and you will get your deployment. you can see our web page is online. So this is the end of this video, and we have learned how to deploy a Java Spring Boot application on Azure pipelines as well as on local machine. Thank you guys.